in 200 years, people will look back on this particular period and say to themselves, how did those people at that time just allow all these amazing creatures to vanish? But it would be very little use in me or anybody else exerting all this energy to save the wild places if people are not being educated into being better stewards than we've been.
Death. A fact of life that over time we all come to accept. However, it's pertinent that we treat it with the utmost respect. We as humans have gained the ability, the chance, to evade its cold grasp. Through the advent of modern medicine and technology, members of today's society can now become the masters of their own destiny. Other creatures that walk this planet, not so lucky, dependent on the whole world around them. This would not be a problem in a static world. However, through human interaction, such creatures are now at great risk. The earth will not continue to offer its harvest, except with faithful stewardship. We cannot say we love the land and then take steps to destroy it for use by future generations. John Paul II. In the quest for globalisation, species unique to Australia have vanished. Since European settlement, around 30 species of mammals have now become extinct, around 1/3 of the global mammal extinction across the entire world. Animals like the Tasmanian tiger or the lesser bilby will never be seen again. Australia is fast becoming a hub for exterminating native species, whether through rapid urban sprawl or vast man-made pollution. Even though phenomena such as ocean acidification and global warming has been linked to human action, we know for certain that many animals die due to habitat destruction, expansion of state-sponsored farms, construction of necessary infrastructure, and growth of urban landscapes. Here we can see a dead forest. Once teeming with fauna and wildlife is now a shell. Around we can see a wasteland of environment that has been used and now discarded by humans, Australians no less. The land around us is simply a resource, an afterthought of our expansion to fit an ever-growing population. The destruction we cause does nothing to nurture the beautiful gift that we have been given, of life, of the environment. The earth has a skin, and that skin has diseases. One of its diseases is called man. Friedrich Nietzsche. What is urban sprawl?
Cheap housing, green fields and estate developments are just the latest chapters in Australia's urban sprawl, transforming our entire notion of Australian suburban life. Doubling in population in the last 25 years.
Every 25 years. That is one of the greatest population growths across the world, almost unprecedented. How dire is our current situation here in Australia?
As of 2018, Australia is ranked for the 4th highest for extinction rates, with around 40 species dying out and another 106 becoming critically endangered. Something in this nation is going terribly wrong.
Do we know why Australia is under such threat?
There is no one reason for this. However, I believe this trend is seen largely due to the urban sprawl happening over the last 50 years. With a population growth of over 204% during this time, our society has needed to adjust through development, and the environment is paying the price.
This bud can be often seen in the northeastern side of Australia, but also in New Zealand and Northeast Asia. Majestic and graceful, this creature relies on the hot, damp marshes of Queensland to make it through the spring. This species is currently in great danger. Recent growth in urban development and state infrastructure has placed this bird on the endangerment status. With only 40,000 left remaining, expanding cities and towns are doing little to protect these birds. Growing human habitation directly correlates with shrinking wildlife habitation. The human race is like a bad neighbour, responsible for the destruction of the neighbourhood around them and abuse towards other neighbours. A range of companies from BHP Billiton, involved in oil/mining, to BGC, a construction company, often move in, tearing up natural ecosystems, leaving remnants charred and scarred. A small percentage of land in Australia is habitable, about 10%. So when humans are being so invasive and wasteful, it makes sense that Australia is facing its extinction crisis.